Now then, going to be reacting to some more dating slop. Let's get into it.
Where y'all at? I'm looking.
One man's flirt, depending on how he looks and presents, is another man's harassment.
Yes.
And we are.
Yep, that is definitely correct. I mean, it's never happened to me as such. But you see this playing out a lot.
Are not doing a good job as women being able to explain why it's harassment versus being an attractive opportunity. Men are frustrated. Men are not understanding what is the difference and why am I a threat if I'm being kind to you. So
Yeah, I mean, I would say that the men are not looking out for visual indicators that she is interested in you. And there is a proclivity for men to overestimate how much a woman likes him as well. So they are two mitigating factors that men are sort of not taking into account when they're maybe choosing to approach women.
So because of your behavior, women, I am now going to pull back my finances and resources. I'm now going to reduce my presence. I'm going to reduce my intentions, my efforts, because I don't want what my intentions are in terms of creating connection with you to be misconstrued as harassment because you don't like how I look. I'm not your type.
Yeah. I can't really add but much what she just said there, to be fair. Like, continue.
No. Ooh. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
Ladies, look, it
Yeah, guilty. I have done it when I'm making toast, and I know I'm going to be going back to get some more toast.
actually does make sense because that man is already thinking that he wants another piece of toast, so he's not going to put that
Yeah, very often I'm eating the other slice while the next slice is toasting.
dirty knife in the dishwasher and then have to dirty another knife. That would be a waste.
If you're a black man and you're 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, and you're not married to a black woman, go ahead and go get you a foreigner. Because these black women, majority of them, they don't like black men anymore. A hard-working black man.
I mean, I can't comment on that. I mean, I'm British and I'm a white guy. But I have noticed when I've used these sort of features on dating apps to be able to search in other countries that the black ladies do seem to have a eagerness to talk with white guys. That's something I've noticed.
Is not respected in America anymore. The only men that are qualified to date a majority of these black women is Jesus himself. They don't appreciate a hard-working black man anymore. Give them a Bible, give them a rose, give them a bottle of wine, and that's what they're content with. Because these other races of men don't want them anyway, because they talk too much.
Don't know, I'm not sure I 100% agree where he's going with this one. I was in agreement at the beginning of his video, and he's kind of gone off on a little bit of a tangent.
But they can go get you a nice little Vietnamese or Cambo, whatever, that's going to be quiet, full, cook, clean. She just say, when, how, why.
I mean, it's a bit of a stereotype, but he's not 100% wrong. In Asian culture, there is this concept of being non-confrontational. To be confrontational with somebody means they lose face. So I think that's where a lot of the submission thing comes from. He's not completely wrong, but I think some of his analysis is a bit wonky.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below.
Yeah, the link for this will be in the description if you want to watch it without me talking.
Let's get back to the video.
Women will say, I want a traditional man. I want a traditional man with traditional values. But you want that traditional man to not want a traditional woman because you want to still get to be a feminine.
Yeah, that is definitely something that I've seen occurring. And it's likewise the other way around. I know Brian, who runs the Whatever podcast, wants a traditional woman, but he doesn't want to get married. So he's kind of making things hard for himself. And a lot of these women doing the same thing. They want a traditional man, but they don't want to be a traditional woman. It's this to and fro between the two sort of conflicting ideologies. I suppose. It's not the best word to describe it, but it's the best one I can think of at the minute.
Feminist. And you want him to like that about you. You want him to be a traditional, God-loving man who provides and protects, who's masculine, who's gentlemanly, but you want that guy to want a boss babe and to embrace the boss babe in you and to embrace your career ambition and to embrace the very thing about your life, that career that takes you away from those children. and puts those kids with a nanny or an au pair, best case scenario, and worst case scenario, daycare. That's not a traditional man. That's not what they want. It doesn't work that way. You want a traditional man? Then you got to be a traditional woman.
I just saw a video.
Amen. Amen. Really. And that's one of the things I've found recently interacting on the dating sites as well, as being really open about being Christian and taking the whole marriage and tradition thing really serious. It's like girls really like that as well. They really gravitate to it. It really makes them turn their heads.
Of a girl saying something along the lines of, her boyfriend worked like 12, 13 hours, said he was too tired to like stop and pick up food on the way home. Been there, done that. And so she was like, I'm cooking him and taking him dinner. The very first comment when I opened up that comment section, and what does he do for you, sis? Okay. I'm going to talk in a very broad sense. In this generation, it's all about me, me, me. I.
Yeah, it is. Amen. There's a lot of that. A lot of what they want, the other individual. And while it's certainly good to have preferences, it seems as though some people will see any deviation from those preferences, as ever so slight as it may be, as being not the one or something. Give themselves internal monologue that continually repels anybody that would even be good enough for them, because they are too busy fault finding when they themselves are truly the ones at fault, because they are looking for how that other person makes them feel rather than how they can make that other person feel.
What do I get? What do I want? Since when did it leave everybody's brain that a relationship was supposed to be a partnership? When did that leave? Common sense has left the building. And everybody, me, what does he do for me? What does she do for me? What do I get out of this? What am I going to get? I'm not going to be in a relationship until I get everything that I need.
Your bills are a package deal. What do you bring to the table? So he's supposed to act like but you won't cook or clean for him? Because that would be like you being his mom. Half this stuff you don't even need. And just think about it from a man's perspective for a minute. What man...
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if this is on a dating app as such. I've never really seen this kind of stuff. As I've seen similar things, nothing like a list like that. But certainly people saying, if you're not going to spend money on me, then don't bother swiping right. Things like that. I don't know. Similar, obnoxious, narcissistic nonsense, really.
Would agree to pay for all these things. Especially if you're demanding it from the first date. Because that just tells that man that you're genuinely not there to get to know him. That the only thing you care about is getting your bills paid. A good man doesn't want to just be seen as a walking wallet.
And man, you know, you have so many women out here that are just weird. They're just weird.
Yeah, they are weird. They've completely forgot why they're in a relationship or trying to seek one out. They have this like contorted view of what the relationship is meant to be.
Oh, there's no reason to approach me. There's no reason to be around me except to just have normal human interaction. There's so many women that complain about men not approaching, and men not even for approaching, not even for dating purposes, but to just be social, man. I don't want to talk to women all the time. I want to talk to some guys. I want to see what they're up to. Well, whenever you guys talk sideways, whenever you guys talk crazy, what are you expecting a man to do? What do you think a man is going to be doing? You think a man is going to be walking up to you if you're not friendly? I mean,
yeah, exactly. And even if they did, right, I suppose, if they walked up to her while she's looking miserable and said the classic line, smile, there would be a hell on. So he has a point, you know. It's only really safe to approach women who are looking happy, and I would say have been giving you signals that she's interested first. Well,
guys, come on, man. It's not rocket science.
If your man has to beg for affection, something is deeply off. He shouldn't have to chase you around the house just to get a kiss. He shouldn't feel like he's annoying you just to be touched. He's your husband, not a side character you can barely tolerate. You say you love him, but when was the last time you showed him, without words, without him asking. And no, I'm not talking about packing his lunch. I'm talking about pulling him close when he walks by, giving him that look that says, I still want you. Because if he's showing up, working hard, staying loyal, being a solid man, why should he feel like he's starving for your attention? Flirt, touch, initiate. Desire is not some extra bonus in marriage. It's the glue that keeps everything from falling apart. And when a husband feels ignored long enough, he stops asking. He stops reaching for you. He builds walls instead of bridges. He starts wondering if he's even wanted anymore. And that's how emotional distance begins.
You know, just imagine, right? I imagine there's women near this, and it's like him, and it pisses them off, right? This will piss them off. But if that said she, they'd be like, they'd share it, they'd love it, you know, it'd be their like thing that they'd remember all day. This little video about her emotions. But it just goes to my point that men who talk about their emotions to women, they see it as incredibly unattractive, and I think that's why they get so annoyed when men trying to be involved in the discourse on relationships. I think because obviously it does really at the end of the day boil down to our emotions, because we are trying to express ourselves how we think the most viable way to run a relationship is.
Quietly, but dangerously. Eventually, the man who once craved your affection forgets how to ask for it. If you want to deepen your connection with your spouse and start building a marriage full of love and understanding, I've put together powerful guides that can help you. You'll find it in my bio.
Yeah, so I will just say anyway that the best way is to come to Christ. I'm going to leave it there as well. My little bombshell there, yeah. Being Christian, I think, is the most viable way to make it work. And people are going to say, yeah, they're doing other cultures. Yes, certainly do. But I have other spiritual reasons why I think that you need to be Christian. And marriage is definitely part of that equation. But yeah, link for this will be in the description if you want to continue watching the sort of dating reaction type stuff. I'm going to leave it here because too much of this kind of does tend to go on and boil my head. But this one's been okay. There's been none of them have really frustrated me. See you in the next one.